Just closed an order I placed last week on an Intel calendar, and I want to do a trade review for you today to show you how this trade worked. I'm going to put a link to the original video that I did on this trade so you can see what I was thinking when I entered it. What I've given you here on my screen today is this red line shows the day before I placed the trade. So I placed the trade on 11/15. Now, when I placed the trade, it was actually trading at about 57.98, and I was looking at a number of my indicators, and you see after earnings it bounced up to a 3 ATR move, and it kind of consolidated between 1 and 2, but it really to me showed continued consolidation, if not perhaps even a move back down. I was trying to keep an eye right here. This is my stop when I think when I initially placed the trade. I was trying to keep an eye right through here because if it did break out of this consolidation base, then yes, there was potential for it to make a move up. But with the Bollinger Bands still being so wide apart, I just really felt like it was going to continue sideways or down. So I basically did a calendar on the put side. I sold the 11/22/58, which was on the 15th, which was for next week, which is this week, and I bought the 12/13/58 to cover it. I was able to get about a 58 cent debit when I placed the trade. So, I did this in my small account, so I take a lot less risk on my small account. Doing this to help you build a small account. Obviously, you can scale this up. Just keep in mind commissions. Typically on my larger accounts, I do a little bit higher debit just because the commissions can kind of eat into your trade. Even though commissions are a lot less now than they used to be, they still do make an impact, just not as much as they used to. Today it was 11:20, and my good to cancel order was hit, and I ended up with keeping about almost a 21% profit. I think it was actually a 20.61% profit on this trade, which is a good return on my calendar strategy. I do a lot of calendars. I like them because you can get into them at low risk in a small account, and you can slowly build your account, provided that the stock doesn't move too much in either direction. Because on a calendar, if it moves, even here I had puts for instance, if it had moved down to the 55 to even 55 or 54.50, 55 area, this actually still could have been a losing trade even though I had puts. Unfortunately, that's the way calendars work. If it moves too much in either direction, you can get in trouble. I will try to continue to stay in the trade and manage it if I have puts and it's going down, with the hope that it would move back up into a consolidation or back toward a mean where I can get out of it for a profit or even a break even. This one worked perfect. It hit my good to cancel order. I'll look at a couple of the other indicators for you. And again, more reasons why I felt it might go down as I'm trading away from my wave here. I'm at a 2 to ATR. You can see, right here is where I entered the trade on this candle. It was hitting right at that 2 ATR. This is a Keltner channel on this one. It did consolidate. It did, I thought there might be a pullback, but it did consolidate really well for me. I exited right here on this candle. Take a look at the moving averages, and what I was looking at is I was expecting some support on the 10 EMA here. We've seen some support of it in previous, going back and looking at how well it has traded the 10 and 20 EMAs and even the 30 EMA to some degree. Certainly, I would have held the trade, into the 20 EMA here. If it started getting to this 30, I would have been a little more worried just because I would have had a loss on the calendar because it moved too far away from from my strike. So it's things that you got to keep in mind as you look at calendars. I'll go ahead and pull up my trade sheet for you, let you get a look at that. This is my actual trade sheet on this particular trade, so you get an idea of how I keep up with my trades. When I entered it, I had a time decay of 212%. That is a proprietary indicator that I use when I'm calculating my calendars. I'm still working on it. I can't tell you that it is 100%. I can tell you it appears that the more time decay I have, the better the trades go. But I'm not comfortable enough with it to give it to everyone yet or explain to you how it works, just because I want to make sure it really does work and it's not just coincidence. But you can see where I entered the trade. You can also see my commissions when I entered the trade and commissions when I exited the trade. Uh, I had certainly, I had a good profit on it. It was only 5 days, so annualized, it was over a 1,500% annualized return. I put that on there just mainly for my longer term trades. On these short term trades, you really can't use this, the annualized gain, as any kind of measure. But I keep it on there for my longer term trades. But this is really what I'm looking at as the return on my risk. I only had $180 risk on this one. Typically on my small account, I look for around 250 on the risk on a calendar. On my larger accounts, certainly I'll go up a lot higher than that because I trade less contracts, but there's typically more of a difference between the short and the long bids. So I'll have more risk based on that and don't have to trade a bunch of contracts. You have to be careful how many contracts you trade, especially if it's in a low liquidity stock or option, because you won't be able to get very good fills. Intel had pretty good liquidity, so I was able to get good fills, and it closed out today automatically, and I booked my profit, and now it's time to move on to the next trade. If you would, please check out the description below. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks.